The spirit of healing appears, radiating golden light as she channels divine power. She's worshipped like a goddess, known for beauty, strength, and surrounded by treasures. A creature with glowing yellow eyes wonders if she can heal their companion too. The dragon calls upon the spirit of healing to cure all creation's ailments. The dragon calls upon the great master of time to summon a powerful spirit. He offers a deal power in exchange for a worthy price. With magic blazing, he demands the spirit of healing to appear immediately. A boy appears wrapped in a blanket, lying inside the glowing summoning circle. The dragon and the boy stare at each other silently in confusion. The dragon questions if this ordinary-looking boy really represents overwhelming beauty. The dragon focuses on the boy's healing abilities and begins a ritual. The boy thinks he has died and stares up in disbelief. We're introduced to Kim Ohjin, a 32-year-old veterinarian. During his studies, his professor scolds him for daydreaming. After getting licensed, Kim Ohjin spent 3 years working low-paying vet jobs. A man hands over a pet, asking Kim to take care of it due to financial issues. Kim refuses, reminding him that the clinic isn't an animal shelter. Kim Ohjin finally opened his own veterinary clinic. His clinic's sign malfunctions, leaving only his surname unlit. He tells them to leave it as it is, there were no customers anyway. Lying in bed, Kim silently curses his miserable situation. Frustrated, he wonders if this depressing life is really all there is. Burdened by rent and debt, he starts to consider ending everything. Hearing a strange noise, he angrily suspects it's his neighbor playing guitar again. Kim realizes he's been summoned to a completely different world. He wonders if he died peacefully in his sleep from a heart attack. Whether this strange place could be hell. He confirms it's hell, surrounded by gold, monsters, and unpaid debts, just as he imagined. Kim nervously asks the dragon what's going to happen to him now. The dragon casually says he just needs Kim to treat his pet. Kim can't believe he's still doing vet work even after death. He stares at the terrifying 3-headed hellhound, wondering if this is really a pet. The dragon excitedly asks Kim to heal his beloved child while shaking off dust. The pet turns out to be a tiny, shy bat named Catless from the fruit bat family. At the creature, confirming it's definitely a bat. The dragon proudly asks if the bat looks cute. Kim quickly notices the bat seems unhealthy just by looking at it. He observes that it's skinny and looks completely drained of energy. His veterinarian instincts kick in as he starts asking about the bat's name and background. Kim asks when the symptoms first appeared. The dragon says he's only had Catless for a week. Bat pets are trendy now. We see a flashback of dragons showing off their pet bats at a recent meetup. Dragons boast about their pets, making the white dragon feel pressured to get one too. He recalls finding Catless stuck at a dungeon's entrance and deciding to adopt him. Disbelief, holding the bat while questioning everything silently. Dragon is his second most hated kind of pet owner. His personal hate list, making this truly feel like hell. Kim asks about Catless's eating habits and hesitates to judge too quickly. Feeds Catless fresh animal blood daily, but the bat refuses to eat. He proudly claims his refined tastes. Kim bows in quiet frustration, overwhelmed by the ridiculous situation. Kim gets PTSD just realizing how clueless the dragon is. He labels this dragon as another one of his most hated types, uninformed pet owners. The dragon panics, asking if it's a disease and whether he should find better blood. Kim, completely done, mutters in disbelief at the dragon's ignorance. He yells that Catless is a fruit bat, it can't drink blood even if offered. He shouts that the bat only eats fruit, not blood. The ice dragon nervously admits it's his first time raising a bat. Kim scolds him for not learning how to properly care for it. He yells about the freezing temperature being dangerous for the bat. The dragon says he's an ice dragon, but Kim tells him not to raise pets without proper care. Kim feels overwhelmed by the healing spirit's powerful presence. He criticizes raising animals just because it's trendy. The dragon wants to argue back, but realizes he has no response. Feeling guilty, the dragon questions his actions and love for nature. Katniss lies weak on the ground as the dragon realizes even small lives matter. Regretfully, he acknowledges he should have taken proper responsibility. The dragon quietly approaches Kim with a heavy heart. He gently holds Katniss and looks at Kim. Apologizing, he admits his selfishness hurt Katniss. The dragon sincerely says sorry to the little bat. He promises to bring Katniss fresh fruit. He vows to return Katniss to his rightful home. The dragon admits Katniss's happiness is more important than his own greed. He thanks Katniss sincerely for everything. Finds this place more reasonable than he expected. The dragon gratefully thanks Kim, the spirit of healing, for giving him a much-needed reality check. The dragon asks Kim what he wishes for in exchange for using his power. Kim jokingly wishes to be reborn as an Arab oil prince. The dragon is confused and doesn't get the reference. Kim suggests being a rich villain's heir instead. The dragon thinks he's speaking an unknown spirit language. Kim tries to clarify with a different request. Internally, even means by spirit. The dragon offers Kim a magical artifact infused with divine power. He explains it will let Kim create anything he desires, but warns it won't work if Kim has evil intentions. Still, the dragon trusts that Kim won't misuse it. Kim thanks the spirit of healing for everything. The dragon calmly sends Kim off with a wish for a safe return. As Kim begins to vanish, he wonders if life. Realization hits he's living out something straight from a comic. Panicking, he yells for everything to stop. He shouts to the dragon, asking if his wish could be to come back to life. In desperation, he pleads to be sent back to the early days of Bitcoin. The dragon leaves the cave with Katniss, ready to get fruit. Kim is transported back in a flash of light. He lands on the ground, gripping the magical artifact. Frustrated, he realizes he missed a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Regretting his choice, he screams that he should have wished for prime land instead. Kim regrets, not wishing for the Terra stock to rise again. He blames himself for not being quicker with his wish. He complains that all he got from the summoning was a necklace. Looking at it, he questions the use of divine dragon power. Realizing he got no instructions, he feels even more cheated. He jokes that the dragon might just be a scam artist in disguise. A gruff man yells at Kim to move out of the alleyway. Kim quickly dashes aside to avoid trouble. Confused, he looks around, overwhelmed. Hearing street vendors shouting prices, he realizes he's in a bustling market. Kim stands in awe, taking in the vibrant medieval marketplace around him. Kim gets bumped into by a man rushing through the street. The man angrily calls Kim a nuisance for standing around. Kim clutches his shoulder, shocked by the physical contact. He starts questioning if he's really been reincarnated or just possessed. Looking over the unfamiliar city, Kim realizes this isn't the home he expected. A cheerful vendor calls out to Kim, trying to sell him fruit. She praises how sweet the fruit is, comparing it to honey. Kim nervously asks where exactly he is. She assumes he's a lost traveler based on his odd clothes. She explains he's in the Belmore region, south of Baron Doyle's domain. The vendor asks where Kim is from, and he internally curses the dragon. He vaguely replies that he's from somewhere extremely far away. She assumes he must be from a very remote town. Suddenly, fruit crates crash to the ground nearby. A giant rabbit starts gobbling up carrots in a panic. The rabbit is revealed to be Elizabeth, a giant lop-eared rabbit whose stress eats excessively. Elizabeth stares blankly with food crumbs on her face and says, "Keikayu." The crowd screams and flees as she walks forward, still eating. Kim is confused that such a massive creature roams free. Explains she's just Lord Belmore's pet rabbit and urges him to run. Something that huge is considered a rabbit. As the vendor runs off too, she laments the loss of her sales for the day. Kim shouts in panic, eyes wide with fear. A little girl screams for her mom as the huge rabbit looms behind her. The girl cries harder as the rabbit opens its mouth menacingly. Kim stares in disbelief, questioning how that creature could be a... The girl nervously glances back. Terrified of being bitten by the rabbit, Kim grabs the girl as the giant rabbit lunges at them. They both tumble hard onto the ground after the quick rescue. Kim checks on the girl, confused and concerned about what just happened. Just as he feels relief for saving her, the rabbit charges at them again. Kim panics, realizing they're both about to die. He regrets getting involved in the situation. He tries to convince himself it's not his fault. He angrily blames the rabbit's owner for everything. A glowing pendant begins to react mysteriously. Kim unleashes a powerful beam of light from the pendant, surprising everyone. Elizabeth, the rabbit, freezes mid-charge with a confused look. Bound by glowing restraints, Elizabeth lets out a startled sound. Kim stares in disbelief, holding the pendant that caused it all. Both Kim and the girl look up in shock as the now calm rabbit stands still. Onlookers watch in awe, wondering if Kim is actually a wizard. A child excitedly asks his sister if Kim is a wizard. The sister admits she thought Kim was just a traveler. Kim, still holding the glowing leash, wonders how he got into this mess. A rich-looking man rushes in, calling out to Elizabeth with relief. He scolds the rabbit for running off, saying their father was worried. The man scolds his servants for failing to catch a single rabbit. He angrily tells them their pay will be cut. He instantly changes mood, sweetly inviting Elizabeth for a walk. He screams in shock upon seeing Elizabeth tied up, demanding to know who did it. Kim silently watches as the angry man approaches him. The owner angrily demands to know what Kim is doing to his baby. Kim calmly explains he restrained the rabbit to save lives. The owner denies the rabbit could ever be dangerous and demands the leash be removed. Kim sarcastically suggests the owner test his theory by putting his head in the rabbit's mouth. Kim mentally ranks the man among his most hated, delusional pet owners. He internally warns how dangerously strong a rabbit's bite actually is. Kim taunts the man, suggesting he offer his leg if he's scared to die. He keeps provoking him, challenging his love for the rabbit while the man panics. The boy clutches his chest, overwhelmed by excitement from Kim's boldness. The sister explains it's the joy of seeing someone get what they deserve. Kim narrows his eyes, focused and serious. A close-up reveals a suspicious spot on Elizabeth's body. Kim tries to calm himself, reminding he's a mature adult. He identifies Elizabeth as a lop-eared rabbit based on her features. He explains domestic rabbits shouldn't be taken on walks, especially in crowded areas. Kim educates the owner on rabbit stress and asks about... The owner, shocked, admits Elizabeth has been pulling out her fur recently. Kim warns that continued stress could make her seriously ill or shorten her life. The man panics upon hearing that Elizabeth could die. Kim firmly tells him to stop the dangerous walks if he wants to keep her safe. The man questions how she'll exercise, also wondering how she got so big. Kim acknowledges the owner's love for Elizabeth. He gently reminds him that rabbits are highly sensitive creatures. Kim seriously explains that raising rabbits takes knowledge and care. The man is surprised and says Kim must really love rabbits. He gets emotional, recalling how others mocked her for raising rabbits, while Kim denies being over. He curiously asks if raising rabbits is his profession. Kim responds awkwardly, saying he's sort of in that line of work. The butler offers a small gift and asks Kim to check on Elizabeth's health occasionally. The man affectionately hugs Elizabeth and promises her a comforting meal at home. Kim looks puzzled and says he probably won't be visiting again. A group of villagers peeks in, curious about what's happening. They cheer and celebrate Kim for getting rid of the troublesome rabbit. A merchant thanks Kim and offers him a discount, but he awkwardly says he has no money. Someone reminds him that he just received a bag of money from the noble. Kim opens the bag and is shocked to see shining gold coins inside. He bites one to confirm it's real gold. A girl explains by his behavior. Kim reflects that gold is valuable in every world but regrets biting it. He wonders if he could take the gold back to his original world somehow. Gleam with greed as he asks how much a building costs. He decides to open a second branch of his pet clinic in this world. With hope, he plans to use this world's earnings to clear his debt. Candles flicker as a serious gathering begins. Kim welcomes the attendees, confirming everyone has arrived. Two young men look on nervously, awaiting what comes next. A cloaked figure and a confident man stand as Kim says he hopes one of them will be chosen. Kim prepares to start something serious with a dark expression. He declares it's a game of life and death. It's revealed to be a job interview for his pet clinic staff. The new clinic branch opens smoothly without issues. The noble gifts Kim a large, beautiful building as his own. Kim reflects that strong connections are the key to success and is stunned when someone confesses love. The Lord personally arranged a shop for Kim after hearing he would stay. Kim finds the shop filled with rabbit supplies and decides to keep it since it's free. He's optimistic about growing the business now that he has a place. He reflects on his lack of information, especially about the dragon who could help him return. Thinking he'd be sent home but ended up stuck in this town. He decides to hire someone who can explain the world and help in the clinic. Kim considers hiring someone technician too. The job interviews for Kim Ohjin's animal hospital begin with nervous candidates. Thomas introduces himself proudly, emphasizing his upbringing and strength. Kim internally judges him as lacking personality and scores him low. Philip, the second candidate, shares that his family has worked with animals for generations. He reveals they run a butcher shop and boasts about his knife skills. Kim writes down a sarcastic note, "Call the police." Kim realizes he needs to be more careful with hiring and calls on the next candidate. And Kim thinks he might be a criminal. Kim tries to stay open-minded and asks why he applied. The man crazily begs to be Kim's servant and laughs maniacally. Kim instantly changes his stance and decides to always judge by appearance. The man creeps toward Kim shouting about magic, making Kim panic. The cloaked candidate calmly asks when it's their turn while warning the man to stay back. Kim is attacked by the crazed man and shouts for help in the middle of chaos. Kim, overwhelmed, wonders if he should just clean up the mess. Selena suddenly punches the crazy candidate mid-rampage. The man crashes hard to the ground, knocked out. Selena calmly introduces herself by name. She explains she's a roaming animal expert with treatment skills. Kim is impressed, gives her a perfect score, and instantly hires her. Kim officially hires Selena with a handshake. The town rests under peaceful daylight. Kim enjoys the sunny room and feels content with his setup. He grows frustrated when Selena doesn't show up for work. Realizing his mistake, Kim considers posting a new job ad. He hears a knock and assumes it's the technician likely to be fired. Kim greets the visitor cheerfully, asking about lunch. The cheerful stranger admits he hasn't eaten yet. Kim suddenly realizes he doesn't know who this guy is. He quickly welcomes him in and invites him to sit. Kim politely offers him a drink, and the man asks for tea. Excited, Kim prepares tea for what he believes is his first paying customer. He is determined to succeed this past mistakes. In the past, Kim Ohjin worked as a vet during the first branch era. He informs the owner that the dog's paw is healed, but it has tartar buildup. The owner complains that brushing the dog's teeth sounds like a hassle. Kim sarcastically mocks the owner, comparing brushing to basic needs like eating. He takes the sarcasm further, joking that if everything's a hassle, the owner might as well give up on life. Kim checks bad reviews. Regretful. His reputation. Plans to be kind and he asks the visitor the visitor named Peepajak from is surprised but relieved it's just a normal lizard. He questions why it's in a pocket. Learning the lizard chewed its cage, the visitor proudly shows off Peepawjack in his pocket, calling it cuter that way. Kim slams the desk in frustration, trying to stay calm. He forces the desk is just slightly broken. Kim silently congratulates himself for not exploding with anger. He asks why the lizard was brought in for treatment. The visitor explains that Peepawjack isn't sick, just very weak and sensitive to the cold like most lizards. The visitor says Peepawjack's tail fell off when he grabbed it, shocking Kim. Kim explains that's normal for lizards and warns not to grab the tail. The visitor cheerfully demands Kim make the lizard healthier. Kim recalls a similar as the issue is with the owner, not the pet. Distrusting the owner, up himself. While Kim suddenly feels something strange, Kim diagnoses Peepawjack with dissectisis, a condition where lizards have trouble shedding. The owner warns that Peepawjack is aggressive and, from the streets, confusing Kim. Suddenly, Peepawjack's face flares up with glowing cracks. Kim stares in shock as something begins to ignite inside the lizard. A fiery orb forms in Peepawjack's mouth, alarming Kim. Kim is yanked away by someone just in time. Selena jumps in and protects Kim from a fireball blast as Peepawjack launches an attack. Selena scolds Kim for nearly getting hit by a salamander's fire on her first day. Kim is slammed into the wall, injured but alive. He thinks getting burned might have been less painful than this. Peepawjack is now officially listed as the clinic's first patient. Kim realizes Peepawjack is a salamander that threatened. Selena asks for fireproof gear, while the owner casually admires Peepawjack and is asked where he got it. The visitor says he found Peepawjack in the mountain behind the clinic. He claims it was love at first sight and immediately brought him home. Teasingly, he asks, but she calmly denies it. She then questions if capturing Sal in this area. She explains that salamanders are too wild to be kept as pets by ordinary people. Selena explains that salamander numbers are already low due. The visitor nervously asks if he can keep Peepawjack, but Selena says it's illegal. She reassures him authorities may not interfere. Panics and refuses, shouting that he absolutely won't say goodbye to Peepawjack. Runs off dramatically, yelling to be allowed to love Peepawjack. Kim and Selena are left confused, wondering what just happened. Kim blames Selena for just watching. Selena sternly tells Kim to go after the visitor immediately. She hesitantly agrees, and the scene will manage his first case. A peaceful town full of calm, everyday activity. A woman happily tends her fruit stall, noting life's been better without the Lord's rabbit. She's relieved the rabbit is busy with stall safe. Peaceful day. The group suddenly sprints past her. The runaway owner clutches Peepawjack while Selena and Kim chase him in full panic. Fleeing man, determined to stop him, Kim, exhausted, begs for the chase past fruit stalls. Is in shock, frozen behind her stand, and decides it's safer not to get involved. Chased so intensely. One is after his beloved Peepawjack. Dramatically, he declares their bond unbreakable, calling it a trial of love. Kim panics and yells to stop someone, shouting that Peepawjack needs to molt. Stands in a peaceful cityscape. Kim, exhausted from chasing, complains about how fast the other guy is. Selena tells him to work out more. Selena asks Kim if Peepawjack really hasn't molted yet. Kim confirms and says multiple layers have built up, so it's urgent. Selena realizes the urgency and says they must act quickly. Peepawjack starts heating up. Kim explains fire builds up if it can't molt. Kim's friend warns that if the fire builds too much, Peepawjack could go on a rampage. Jack's rampage could destroy everything, not just harm its owner. Kim looks worried, realizing the danger is serious. Someone says they must quickly find it before it's too late. The blue, hoping no one followed him. He cheerfully tells Peepaw Jack they're safe now and won't be separated. Excited, he plans to write a song to celebrate their bond. As he gets inspired, Peepaw Jack starts to burn up again from not molting. The blue-haired boy happily sings about love while Peepaw Jack glows red hot. Peepaw Jack overheats, flames intensifying as the singing continues. The boy cheerfully asks Peepaw Jack for feedback on his song. A sudden explosion erupts right in front of him. Burned and hurt, the boy groans on the ground, overwhelmed by the blast. The blue-haired boy walks into a room engulfed in flames, shocked and confused. He sees Peepaw Jack surrounded by fire and demands to know what happened. Approaching nervously, he asks if Peepaw Jack is angry, questioning why it started such a huge fire. He urges a quick escape, reaching out toward the flames. As he steps closer, the fire suddenly flares up. He realizes something unexpected is happening. Peepaw Jack unexpectedly shoots fire, shocking everyone. Kim leaps in to protect the others from the blast. He grabs the fiery Peepaw Jack, struggling to control it. Kim shouts to Selena, questioning if the rampage affects its behavior toward people too. Kim realizes they need a fire extinguisher and summons one instantly. He pauses, surprised by his own quick thinking. Kim sprays the extinguisher on Peepaw Jack to cool it down. Peepaw Jack turns white, confused and frozen by the spray. Kim looks at the spray, impressed by the necklace's hidden ability. Flames slowly die down inside the building. Selena, confirming the rampage is under control. He stares in shock, processing the word rampage. The guy explains Peepaw Jack went wild because it couldn't molt properly. Kim cheerfully claims he can take care of it better now. He stares blankly, questioning if that's all he has to say. The guy insists his love for Peepaw Jack is unchanged and suggests rebuilding the house. Kim scolds him, saying the fire could have hurt others, not just him. The guy insists he'll take better care of Peepaw Jack from now on. Kim facepalms, clearly frustrated and exhausted. He warns not to raise wild creatures recklessly, as they belong in their own environment. Selena criticizes without understanding their nature. True love. He warns that if Peepaw Jack goes on another rampage, he might not be able to control it alone. Kim gently holds Peepaw Jack, calling it life with a deeper understanding. Kim reflects that affection alone isn't enough to raise a creature like Peepaw Jack. Everyone listens seriously as Kim teaches them about proper care. A peaceful mountain view symbolizes a calm after the chaos. Kim and Selena observe that Peepaw Jack looks much healthier after molting. Peepaw Jack emerges much larger and stronger. Wonder how such a big body. The guy kneels, realizing Peepaw Jack has grown beyond needing him. With tears in his eyes, he accepts that Peepaw Jack now belongs to the vast world outside. He tearfully tells Peepaw Jack to be happy and lets him go out of love. He shouts promises to visit and bring food, but Kim warns that it'll ruin Peepaw Jack's instincts. As Peepaw Jack runs off, the guy cries that they'll always be together in spirit. Peepaw Jack dashes into the forest, finally free, while screams his name. Crying, he asks how Peepaw Jack could leave without saying goodbye. Selena bluntly says Peepaw Jack probably saw him as just its food provider. While he bawls louder, Selena tries to comfort him by explaining salamanders don't have masters. Kim watches silently as the emotional farewell continues. Peepaw Jack stands on a rock, gathering energy into a glowing orb. The group watches in surprise as Peepaw Jack unleashes something unexpected. A burst of fireworks explodes in the sky, dazzling everyone. Tears fill his eyes as he realizes this was Peepaw Jack's farewell gesture. Kim and Selena admire the farewell fireworks, proud of Peepaw Jack. With tears and a smile, the guy calls Peepaw Jack amazing. In town, enjoying peaceful music. strums a tune, marking a calm, joyful end. Roisha introduces himself as a wizard, claiming divine fate brought them together. The Starlight Children's Choir performs joyfully, singing praises of his healing powers. The blue-haired man plays music, hailed as a miraculous, comforting presence. Bobblehead, a muscular drummer, joins in with a dramatic gem solo. Kim hears that Roisha is. Selena doubts it. The crowd praises the song, curious about the wizard mentioned in it. Kim is shocked, calling Roisha a genius and feeling deeply moved by the music. After the song's release, people rush to Kim's pet clinic, begging for treatment. With patients shouting for help, Kim breaks down from exhaustion while a booming narrator declares the clinic is experiencing an unprecedented surge in popularity. Morning begins at the pet clinic. A long line of patients forms outside the bustling building. Kim delivers a terrifying diagnosis with examinations over. While Selena calmly advises a follow-up visit, Kim warns bluntly that the patient might die before then. Kim, eyes glowing with greed, says they must earn while they can. The clinic is packed as the narrator explains the business is booming thanks to the bard. Kim and Selena are amazed by the massive pile of coins they earned in one day. Even after hours, Kim eagerly welcomes another customer completing his monetary healing. Kim reflects that while treating animals about this world, he notices that even here, pets like dogs and cats are loved just as deeply. The only difference, he says, is their breeds. Despite being tired, Kim continues seeing patients. Informing him it's the last one. Examining the final fluffy patient of the day, Kim checks the fluffy pet's joints and finds everything normal. He notices a small thorn stuck in its paw. Kim calmly removes the thorn and reassures it'll be fine. After disinfection, the fluffy creature happily relaxes. Feeling much better, Kim watches the fluffy creature roll around and compares it to a ball of wool. He smiles gently, clearly amused and relaxed. Selena glances at him, noticing his softened expression. Meanwhile, a cheerful assistant rushes out with a book, full of energy. Exhausted, Kim slumps over the desk, glad the long day is finally over. Selena comments that he looked genuinely happy. He wonders if it was because of the puppy or just the end of work. Kim, half asleep, questions why she's asking. Selena says it was interesting to see him happy for something other than money. Kim responds, feeling attacked by her blunt honesty. Kim admits he's been yelling at pet owners more often lately. As it gets dark, he wraps up the day and tells Selena it's time to close. He talks about how busy it was, then notices no. The man eerily pleads for help, scaring Kim. Kim turns to Selena, asking if she can perform exorcisms. She casually suggests physical force might work. Kim panics as the creepy man tries to crawl through the window. Push him out, but the man clings tighter. Suddenly, both of them tumble out of the window. Selena watches blankly from inside, simply saying, "Oh," as the sun sets. The eerie man panics and calls out to Kim Ohjin. He frantically apologizes, realizing he startled Kim too much. To shut up. Still nervous, Kim asks who he is, realizing he's not a ghost while the man excitedly prepares to introduce himself. The man introduces himself as Schwain, a government servant of the territory. He dramatically bows, saying he came because Kim once calmed the Lord's rabbit. He begs Kim to catch a stray dog. Selena and Kim stare blankly, clarifying they're not an animal rescue team, he's just a vet. Schwain pleads with Kim, saying they're out of options. Selena is skeptical. He explains the stray took over a crucial area on the mountain 2 months ago. That location was where a trail was supposed to be built, and now time's running out. Kim asks what happens if they fail to catch it. Realizing the urgency with construction about to begin, Schwain warns that if rescue fails, the military will be called in. Kim is shocked to hear the stray would be killed immediately. Schwain pleads desperately, saying there's no time left. He bows in the rain, begging Kim and Selena for help. Kim silently considers the situation. He scratches his head and asks where the dog is. He's a vet and has no experience capturing animals. He says he at least needs to see the dog first. Swain happily responds that it's just a bit further up the mountain. Kim says he's just checking the situation, not agreeing yet. Selena thinks to herself he's totally going to do it. Swain points out the usual spot where the animal always appears. Both Kim and Selena suddenly sense something nearby. A large beast with sharp teeth quietly growls in the shadows. Kim asks if the creature is what he thinks it is. Selena confirms it's a shaman. The creature is visibly growling, showing signs of distress and injury. Selena explains shamans became trendy, so many people started raising them. But just as many were abandoned. The injured shaman now looks threatening, highlighting the cruelty of its past. The shaman continues to growl at the group while Kim observes it cautiously. Kim recalls the administrator saying it's been there for 2 months, yet the shaman looks starved. Suddenly, strange sounds fill the air as the wind shifts. Everyone turns alert. Kim hears footsteps approaching and wonders if it's a monster. The shaman suddenly charges at Kim with its jaws wide open. Startled, Kim instinctively turns. The shaman leaps at him. Selena swiftly grabs Kim and pulls him away just in time. He warns that turning your back on an aggressive dog is the worst move. Kim panics and protests, wondering what else he was supposed to do. Kim panics, shouting that running will only provoke the shaman further. Selena says they need to distract it, but suddenly, the shaman stops moving. Kim is confused and wonders aloud why a hunting dog would just stop. Selena calmly confirms it is a hunting dog. Kim is surprised the irritated shaman, a hunting dog, would retreat even with people so close. The dog pants and walks back to its starting position near a rock wall, to where it was initially. Selena explains that it's hard to know what dogs are thinking. While the dog always chases people away like that, Kim learns that the nearby village has been complaining about the dog. Thinking deeply. When he asks what the complaints are, the man explains it's just reports of a vicious barking dog on the mountain. Kim questions whether the dog has actually hurt anyone, even though the villagers if anyone has ever been attacked by the dog. The man hesitates but answers no. Kim then recalls shaman dogs are loyal to their guardians. Selena confirms this, noting they're famous for that loyalty. Curious, she asks Kim if he's figured something out. The scene transitions from night to morning, and Kim and Selena arrive at a nearby village. Selena asks why they came here instead of returning to the mountain where the dog is. Kim explains their new goal: they must find the dog's former owner. Selena is confused about the plan and suggests setting a trap to catch the starving dog quickly. Kim disagrees, saying bait won't work. If food were enough, the dog wouldn't be that skinny. He explains it's a hunting dog, and what it really needs is its owner, not bait. Selena realizes the dog's behavior is driven by something more powerful than hunger: loyalty to its owner's orders. A flashback shows the owner asking the dog to protect the place, promising to return soon. The dog obeys, faithfully staying put despite everything. Selena reflects quietly, remembering people like that from her own past, loyal to a fault. Kim expresses frustration at how cruel humans can be, commanding loyal dogs to stay behind just to abandon them. He vows to confront the owner and show them the dog's suffering. In the know who the owner is. Villagers complain instead about how the dog has disrupted work and scared children from going to the mountain. Kim slumps in frustration, realizing no one in the village seems to know the stray's origin. Selena suggests the owner might not be from this village. Kim concludes everyone here just hates the dog. Suddenly, a woman approaches and mentions someone named Jake, saying Kim is the first to ever ask about him. Kim is surprised to hear the girl mention Jake and asks if she knows the owner. She explains that Jake lives far from the village, which is why no one really knows him. They follow her to a secluded house deep in the woods. Kim assumes Jake lived there alone with the dog and knocks on the door only to be told, "Not there. Come with me." As Kim reaches for the door, the girl tells him Jake is actually somewhere else. She leads them to a grave in the forest. Kim stares in shock, realizing what it means. She explains that Jake passed away 2 months ago in a landslide. Though he lived alone, he was a warm-hearted person. Hearing about Jake's death, Kim finally understands that Selena watches quietly, sensing Kim's emotions. He realizes the shaman was never aggressive, it was just loyally guarding its master's last command. With a heavy heart, Kim prepares to return to the mountain, knowing what he must do next. Kim recalls Jake's final wish to take care of Max. Standing before Jake's grave, Kim offers a quiet prayer and expresses his remorse. He bows his head, apologizing for misjudging Max. With resolve in his eyes, Kim prepares to fulfill Jake's last request. Kim solemnly promises to rescue Max. As the sun sets, tension rises. Guards unexpectedly arrive early. The official panics, realizing the danger to Max if they act now. Desperate, he suggests they delay the mission until tomorrow to buy time. One of the soldiers readies his rifle, questioning the need to wait till tomorrow. Coldly, he insists on handling the dog now, showing no remorse. He justifies it by saying the villagers hate the dog anyway. Max lies peacefully near the cave, unaware that danger is approaching fast. Kim and Selena enter Jake's house to gather anything that carries his scent. He knows lingering in the room, suspecting Jake might have been an herbalist. Selena finds some hanging clothes and suggests they take it to help Max recognize his owner's scent. Meanwhile, the protagonist quietly stares at Jake's photograph, lost in thought. As dark clouds roll in, thunder begins to rumble above the forest. Rests weakly near the cave entrance, still. He pants heavily, exhausted but staying near his usual spot. Rain pours down, forcing a nearby traveler to take shelter in the cave right next to Max. The traveler lights a fire inside the cave, considering whether to wait out the rain. Max lies weakly near the flames, shivering from exhaustion and cold. The traveler gently drapes his coat over Max, giving him warmth. He smiles warmly, saying it's a good thing he brought the coat just in case. Max twitches, surprising the traveler. As Max jumps up, playfully tugging at the coat, laughing, the man calls Max a little rascal, relieved to see him active. He glances outside and notes how lucky they were to find shelter in time from the rain. While inside the cave, the man notices a glowing plant growing from the ground. As he approaches, he recognizes the leaf shape and color something rare. Shocked, he realizes it's a mandrake, a mythical herb often mentioned in books. Amazed, he whispers that he never thought he'd see one in real life. The man quickly regains focus, realizing there's no time to waste. He tells Max he needs to return home to fetch his gear. Max whines softly, reluctant to be left alone. The man reassures him that he'll go alone since it's not far and promises to return soon. The man walks away cheerfully in the rain, declaring that today is his lucky day. Max stays behind in the cave, silently watching the fire flicker. The man continues down the path through the pouring rain, rushing to fetch his gear. The storm intensifies. Trail, unaware of the danger ahead. The man looks up in alarm as a loud rumble echoes through the rain-filled forest. His eyes widen in horror as he realizes something is terribly wrong. A powerful tremor shakes the mountain and a massive beast emerges from the shadows, baring its teeth with a menacing growl. Startled by the dog's sudden growl, the soldiers panic and retreat, shouting in confusion. One of them curses the dog, blaming its aggression as the reason it was abandoned. Max turns around and walks slowly back into the cave. He quietly sits down at the entrance, waiting loyally just like his master told him. Max hears footsteps approaching and lifts his head, alert. Soldiers appear over the hill, walking toward the cave. One of them suggests there's no need to rush since it's getting late. But Max, sensing danger, takes a defensive stance, growling as one soldier steps forward. Max continues growling while one of the soldiers asks if they brought enough tranquilizer darts. He confirms plenty since it's a shaman. Swain pleads with them to wait just an hour, explaining that Max has never hurt anyone and has a story behind him. He reveals he even hired someone to help rescue Max, but the cold soldier cuts him off, saying they're not here to listen to a dog's sob story. The soldier admits it's a sad situation, but reminds them their job is to protect the residents. Max crouches low, growling and baring his teeth, clearly on edge. He pants heavily, already exhausted and injured. Just as the soldier prepares to fire the tranquilizer dart, someone suddenly stops him by grabbing the barrel of the gun. Selena stops the soldier, telling him he's acting too hastily. They need to rescue the stray, not shoot it. A beam of light breaks through the clouds, casting a glow over the forest. Max suddenly lifts his head, eyes wide. In the light, he sees his owner, Jake, smiling warmly and calling his name. Jake says he's come to get Max and that he waited a long time. Max's tail starts to wag gently, then faster. He recognizes him. Max excitedly barks and wags his tail, overjoyed by the familiar presence. He approaches and nuzzles into Jake's lookalike, full of trust and longing. The boy gently apologizes, admitting he's not the one Max had been waiting for. Still, he smiles warmly and pets Max, saying, "Let's go home."
This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, then don't forget to subscribe and like the video.